and the gravity of this problem so that we have a common sense of purpose to do something about it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren calling out Republicans for trying to destroy the Affordable Care Act.
Health care is a basic human right, and we fight for basic human rights.
And Biden looking to counter concerns over his age, announcing he will release his medical records before the Iowa caucus.
President, are you committed to releasing your medical records to address concerns by...
I don't have what the hell concerns, man. You want to wrestle?
But it's not just Democrats challenging the president. 3 Republicans are seeking the GOP nomination. South Carolina, Nevada, Arizona, and Kansas have canceled their Republican primaries. Those GOP challengers criticizing the move in a Washington Post op-ed. The president appearing unconcerned.
I'm not looking to give them any credibility.
Tweeting he has a 94% approval rating with Republicans, but the latest ABC News Washington Post poll has that figure at 82%. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
The largest lobster and seafood festival in the Midwest? Well, it's happening right here in downtown Detroit. Today's your last day to check out the Great American Lobster Fest. It's at Hart Plaza and includes live music, family-friendly dining and activities, and unique craft shopping. And live lobster is being flown in fresh from the East Coast. Lobster Fest runs from noon until 10 tonight. Admission is free. Well, crowds will continue to gather in downtown Birmingham today to check out the city's annual street art fair. We're talking about more food, live music, and the works of 150 artists. 7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson is live in Shane Park right now with a look at some of the unique pieces up for sale. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning. Anyway, I love just seeing how creativity emerges differently in different people. So we saw some of those metal sculptures in my headline tees, and then look at this. This art seems to be done in what appears to be driftwood, whether it's, authentic driftwood or something else. I can't wait to talk to this artist and meet the artist. Such incredible works of art that we get to be surrounded by this morning. I also get to be surrounded by these 2 lovely ladies, Amanda and Allison. So you all are both. Tell me a little bit about this event, and it's 45th year, so congratulations.
Thank you. We've got 150 artists here. We'll be here from 10 to 6 today. 10 to 5. And we have a kids activity area with our art therapist from Common Ground. We have our Art for Hope banner, which is an activity that kids can draw on or write a message of hope. And it's not just for kids, anyone can participate in that as well.
I love it. It's your 45th year, and it's exciting because not only do you bring in artists from other places, you're really encouraging and supporting and uplifting local artists. You said you actually have a specific program and way for emerging new artists to participate.
Yes, we have an emerging artist program, which we do some workshops with the artists. We tell them how to price their work, how much work they should bring with them. And we have 2 of those artists here today, Max and Travis, and they'll be displaying their photography and painting.
I love it. And just being surrounded by the art and the bright colors, I always feel happier. It makes me feel good, which is why it makes so much sense that art therapy is such an important part of the work that you all do at Common Ground.
Absolutely, yeah. Art therapy is an essential part to, helping people move from crisis to hope. The proceeds from the silent auction tent kind of helps, bolster those kind of programs like our art therapy program.
Yeah, really wonderful partnership with Common Ground. And I know the funds from this really helps support some of the underfunded programs you have. Yes. Art therapy, you're going to see it in action in the kids tent, so that's really cool. Plus more information about Common Ground and the classes and things that are offered right here in Birmingham, which is really cool if you're interested in getting into art. So the event today, 10 a.m., come on by, check it out. You will see plenty of art. We're going to be exploring and even meeting one of the artists coming up in just a little bit. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, Jen, thank you so much. Yeah, so many things to check out, all unique as well, so do some shopping too.
Beautiful, absolutely. All right. Well, heading out this morning, we are looking at a few showers, seeing it right now into the afternoon, widely scattered. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s today. There is a warm up and a dry stretch on the way in your 7-day. Eastern Michigan and MSU's games both came down to the final play. We're going to show you the wild outings for the Spartans against Arizona State. Next, an officer leads a race 1 year after being shot in the head in the line of duty, who was there every step to cheer him on. You're watching 7 Action News on this Sunday morning.
recovering police officer in Georgia is still getting strong support from his community a year after being shot in the line of duty. Take a look. This crowd gathered in Covington Saturday to show their support for Officer Matt Cooper. He was shot in the head last September during a shoplifting call at a Walmart. Miraculously, he survived, but he's been fighting ever since. To show his determination, Officer Cooper kicked off the Fuzz Run events by leading the 1-mile fun run with his family right by his side.
There's bad days, there's a lot of bad days, but you just got to keep going. You got to keep driving. You can't give up.
Got to keep in mind that doctors thought at this time, a year later, he would still be in a wheelchair. He wouldn't be able to have the mobility that he has. He has worked so hard to get to the point where he can get out and enjoy this day, and we're so proud of him.
Oh, that is so great. Officer Cooper beamed with pride as he walked his way from start to finish. To date, more than 30 fundraisers have been held to help him on his road to recovery. We're so glad to see all that support and see him doing so well, too. 8:14 is the time right now. We want to talk about our Sunday forecast. We've got some football going on today. Right there, yes, go Lions, right? 1 o'clock against the Chargers. Hallie is here now with a look at the forecast. I know the tailgaters are already out there.
Oh, already out there getting an early start. A few showers out there this morning. And we're seeing them affecting the downtown area, and we will as we go through the day today. Again, it's not an all-day rain, but we do have these spotty showers from time to time. Temperatures in the 60s for tailgating, 70s for game time and after the game as well. So we'll time out these Sunday showers. We'll talk about a dry stretch that's on the way and even some warmer weather too coming in your 7-day forecast. We're not saying goodbye to summer yet. So looking at the radar, more numerous, heavier rain back toward Battle Creek, Coldwater area. This is what we'll watch as we go through the morning over the next several hours to track off to the east. I think some of it will break down, but still looking at that opportunity for this line to kind of make it into Jackson here shortly and then on to Ann Arbor in areas from noon into the afternoon. Looks like the best bet. Warren to St. Clair Shores, Grosse Pointe Shores, also looking at Harper Woods, seeing the shower traveling east back toward Ferndale as well. And then we look to the south and you can see a larger area of rain moving through Monroe County, maybe to Newport to Stony Point. This is pushing eastward and then a brief shower around Ann Arbor, Pittsfield into Ypsilanti. So you can see how it's very spotty. A little wider view shows the general direction though is from west to east, and then we get the area of rain towards South Bend. This is actually going to dip a little bit further south into northern Indiana. Temperatures with the cloud cover, we get the cloud cover and the temperatures don't drop off too much, but the problem is they don't rise either toward the afternoon. 63 degrees downtown, 60 in Ann Arbor. Also in Mount Clemens, it's 55 degrees Port Huron. May notice it's feeling a little bit muggier as we go through the morning hours, more humid for the afternoon. By tonight, those dew points settle in the mid-60s, so you're starting to feel it, and it looks like that'll continue at least into the morning hours tomorrow. Our temperatures from the 60s to near 70 by noon. We're in the mid to upper 70s for highs today. So this is our future cast. This is the rain I showed you on the radar. We'll time it out as it presses eastward, moving into Jackson before noon, from Lansing all the way through Monroe County. This line heading from noon further north, the drier you are about noon, but this is heading in your direction, this area of rain into the early afternoon. Then you can see how that dry slot develops behind it. So that's what I mean. It's not going to rain all day. They're just going to kind of come and go. Toward the evening, it becomes spottier in nature, most of it pretty light, and that'll carry us into the overnight as well. Temperature today, 78 for a high as those clouds continue to thicken. Scattered showers, isolated thunder. Mostly cloudy tonight, a few pockets of rain and drizzle. Temperatures in the mid-60s. And then we are looking at temperatures again near 80 tomorrow. Dry Monday through Friday. And it looks like we'll hold on to the dry weather even to start next weekend with that warm up. We're back in the 80s starting Wednesday.
Yeah, looks great. Thank you, Hallie. Well, Eastern Michigan scored a last-second upset win, and Michigan State had a wild finish against Arizona State. Justin Rose has more in your morning sports.
Good morning, everyone. Michigan State kicker Matt Coughlin has had plenty of memorable moments so far as a Spartan. He hadn't missed more than 4 field goals in a season, and he was 7 for 7 going into last night's game. But 2 misses in the first half almost felt like an omen. The Spartans and Sun Devils once again played a close game. Final moments of the game were crazy. Down 3 with a chance to tie it and make up for those misses. Coughlin seemingly hits a 42-yard field goal to force overtime, but upon second review, there's 12 men on the field for Michigan State. That's a penalty. He has to move back 5 yards. Try it again, and no good. Looked a lot more like the first 2 misses of the game. 10-7 the final. Mark D'Antonio remains tied with Duffy Daughtery at 109 all-time wins, and the players bummed they let him down.
Everybody in that locker room loves him, and we definitely wanted it to be here to get that win for him, but man, we didn't play well enough, and that's what really I feel like hitting home with most of the players the most, because we wanted it to happen today.
Yeah, we wanted it. We wanted it. The teams back from 2007 till now wanted it. Coach D wanted it. The fans wanted it. We know, but Arizona State had different plans.
Big win for Eastern Michigan yesterday, going into Champaign and beating Illinois 34-31. Just like last year at Purdue, Chad Ryland good as time expires. Eagles take down a Big Ten team for the third straight year. Battle of the bottom teams in Major League Baseball. Tigers hosting the Orioles, bottom of the 12th inning. Tie game, and then it wasn't. John Hicks, bases loaded. It's a walk-off grand slam. How about that? 8-4 the finals there. Tigers have ensured that they will not finish with the most losses in franchise history. They will wrap up that series later on today. But the big story this afternoon, Lions home opener against the Chargers. We'll have highlights and reaction tonight at 6 o'clock. That is your sports update for this morning. Have yourself a great Sunday.
Thanks, J-Ro. You too. Well, up next, he likes pets and video games, and he's looking for a loving family to call his own forever. We're going to introduce you to Joey and our Grant Me Hope report. You're watching 7 Action News on this Sunday morning.
Hey guys, we hope to see you Monday morning.
Yeah, at 6:15, if you need a new roof, it can cost you. We're testing out the best shingles you should use so you don't waste your money.
Plus, deep fakes and video software at the University of Metro Detroit that's making it easier to spot the deception.
And your overnight breaking news, weather and traffic. We'll see you Monday.
Some kids who are placed in foster care eventually find themselves back with a family member or loved one, but others find themselves eligible to be adopted into new families. Here's Alicia Smith with this week's Grant Me Hope Child.
The Michigan-based nonprofit Grant Me Hope was started by Helen Zierup, who has adopted foster children herself, and she's hoping that these videos will touch someone who's thinking about expanding their family. One boy who's ready to be adopted is a fan of sports, a big dog lover, and a budding artist. Here's Joey.
Hi, my name's Joey. I'm 14. I'm going to 8th grade. Well, I basically like to play any kind of sports. I'm a big gamer, really anything that like a normal teenager would like. I really love dogs. Well, my favorite subject would probably be in between social studies or science. I love like being there for people. Like kind of like a therapist, but like a younger version. I don't like seeing people down all the time. Like I love to make people laugh. That's one of my favorite things to do. Like you can put me in like the most downing situations. I could like just make people laugh out the blue. What I like about art is kind of how you can just design, you can use your imagination to make certain things, like anything in the world, like either paint, use colored pencils, I sketch sometimes. Well, I'm looking forward to going into college. Like, I want to go either into like Michigan because I'm a really big Michigan fan. Like, it's a debatable between like an artist or like a sports player. I love animals, like, for example, like I love dogs like the most because they're like men's best friend. They're like always by your side. They start like getting a bond with you. They're kind of like humans, but like can't talk. Well, what I would wish for is mainly like, well, the kind of family that I would like to have. It doesn't matter like what kind of family. Like, there's just like specific things I'm looking for. Like somebody that's like sportsy, play video games, they're like still into their like younger ages. Regular days where everybody gets together, we all have like family conversations, we have fun, we watch movies. A real normal family.
And if you'd like to learn more about adopting Joey, please call the Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange at 800-589-6273. You can always help by sharing these Grant Me Hope videos on social media. Just go to WXYZ.com/GrantMeHope to share Joey's story. I'm Alicia Smith, 7 Action News.
Thank you so much, Alicia. In the next 30 minutes, we're following stories for you from Detroit, Birmingham, and Allen Park. That's where volunteers got out their saws and hammers, all to help kids. What they did to make sure children have a comfortable place to sleep. You're watching 7 Action News on this Sunday morning.
Taking action for you. 7 Action News starts right now.
Welcome back. Good Sunday morning. It is 8:28, and here's a live look outside over Mount Clemens. We're dealing with some clouds out there. Some places have already seen a little bit of rain this morning. Let's check it now with Hallie to find out more rain's on the way.
Yeah, we're looking at those Sunday showers, we'll call them as we go through the day today. So a few spots this morning, and I do think a little bit of a pickup as we go toward the noon hour and thereafter. The line that we're watching, and again, nothing strong. It's just going to be some wet weather that's just beginning to edge into Jackson County. So you see it to the south. This will take more of an easterly, northeasterly turn, and then it does look like it'll press through. So getting through areas like Livingston County, maybe around noon or so, and then heading off to the north. But right now, very spotty showers from Grosse Pointe Park up towards St. Clair Shores, and a sprinkle or two around Wyandotte, Belleville, back toward Ypsilanti into Washtenaw County. So just moving out of Ann Arbor and also Monroe County. And that's what we're looking at today. So we'll see a little bit of rain from time to time, some dry time in between, nothing real organized. Temperatures range from 57 in Port Huron to 63 degrees downtown. So planning your day, try to stay dry, and it'd be a good idea to just make sure you have the umbrella. You'll probably keep the umbrella down more than you'll have to actually use it. But temperatures in the mid to upper 70s today. We'll talk more about a warm up that's on the way and some dry weather too in your 7-day.
Hallie, thank you. A possible strike is looming now that the midnight deadline has passed for an agreement between United Auto Workers and GM. Union leaders are set to meet this morning to decide to do what next. Workers rallied Saturday outside Ford headquarters in Dearborn. The UAW has agreed to indefinitely extend its contracts with Ford and Fiat Chrysler. Union members at those companies say they are watching the situation closely. Healthcare, wages, and benefits for temporary workers are high on employees' lists of demands. In a statement from GM, the company said officials are prepared to negotiate around the clock. This morning's meeting is at 10 o'clock, and it does include plant-level union leaders. It's at the RenCen inside the Ambassador Ballroom of the downtown Detroit Marriott. Meanwhile, Aramark maintenance workers went on strike at midnight. They are represented by the UAW. This is a live look at picketers at the GM Detroit Hamtramck plant. We've seen a couple of them out there this morning. Key issues for 850 Aramark employees in Michigan and Ohio include wages, health insurance, and retirement. We are staying on top of the developments, and we'll keep you updated on all of it on air and online at WXYZ.com. 8:30 right now, and tomorrow is sentencing day for former state representative Todd Courser. He pleaded no contest last month to willful neglect of duty by a public officer. It all stemmed from a plot to hide an extramarital affair with another lawmaker. The misdemeanor carries a sentence of up to a year in jail or a fine of up to $1,000. Courser was also charged with perjury, which the Attorney General's office says it will dismiss during sentencing. The Flint water crisis led to people in many other cities asking questions about the safety of their drinking water. Today on Spotlight on the News, 7 editorial director Chuck Stokes is sitting down with freshwater activist Monica Lewis-Patrick. She says the U.S. should do better when it comes to providing fresh water to people.
If we would frame it as a national security issue, if your community's health is at risk, if you cannot assure every American that is what's coming out of their tap, what they are cooking with, what they are washing their babies with, what they are fixing a bottle with, what they are providing a glass of water to their parents to take their medication with, that they cannot trust what's coming out of their tap, then I would already say that as a first-class nation, we can no longer live up to that status. We've already failed.
You can see the entire interview on Spotlight on the News. That's this morning at 10 o'clock right here on 7. A man in North Carolina is being praised for leading the charge to help rescue his elderly neighbor from her burning home. The heroic act was caught on camera. Take a look. This all happened in Charlotte on Thursday. You can see several people rushing toward 97-year-old Carmen Torres to get her away from that burning house. You can see as they picked her up and moved her away from danger while flames and smoke shot out in the distance. Torres was rushed to the hospital where she's being treated for critical injuries. Her neighbor, Robert Chavez, alerted the others after seeing smoke billowing from her home.
4 or 5 of us probably just grabbed her and we pulled her over here to the hill to safety. You always say what you would do or could do, but you never know what you can do until, you put in that situation.
Investigators say the accidental fire was caused by an electrical malfunction. Thanks to dozens of caring volunteers, several kids across Metro Detroit are waking up on new beds this morning. The beds were made and distributed as part of the Bunk Bed Build and Bedding Drive. Volunteers assembled the beds Saturday at the Lowe's in Allen Park. The event was put on by the organization Sleep in Heavenly Peace, thanks to funds from private donors. Their goal was to make 20 beds. Since 2012, the group has helped build and deliver more than 6,000 beds for kids across the country in need. Job well done. Let's check in now with Jennifer Ann Wilson, who is live at the Birmingham Street Art Fair. Hi, Jen.
Good morning, Anu. I am looking at right now some really incredible acrylic artwork. We're going to meet the artist behind this artwork, plus tell you how these dolphins, or dolphins like it, started it all. We're here at the Birmingham Street Art Fair. Don't go anywhere. You're watching 7 Action News this morning.
Well, if you've been looking for a unique piece of art for yourself or maybe something to give as a gift, you could head over to downtown Birmingham. That's where the annual Birmingham Street Art Fair is going on. Our Jennifer Ann Wilson is live in Shane Park with one of the talented artists. Good morning, Jen.
You ready over there, Bruce?
Good morning. I love seeing the art. I love the creativity. You all know that because I say it so often. But what else I love is the story behind it, the inspiration. What gets these artists started, what inspires them to continue and continues bringing these works of art to life. And I'm sitting next to Michael George. You came from Scottsdale. You brought at least some of the warmth, if not all of the sunshine, which we appreciate, and some really incredible work of art.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So your work, you were not always an artist.
Not always. I worked for McDonnell Douglas years ago, 27 years ago, was laid off, and I started sculpting dolphins actually in lucite acrylics, and actually I got my start doing the dolphins. I started.
You just taught yourself. You went to the library, right?
Went to the library.
You were looking into books, and you decided to make dolphins. Took them to California, and what happened?
Well, I went to a trade show in LA. SeaWorld picked me up and ordered hundreds of pieces, and that was my start. So I started doing the lucite acrylic dolphins, and now these are cast actually in stainless steel. We pour them the same way we do bronze. We melt it down, cast it, and pour it. A little bit different animal than the acrylics, but fun.
What a cool story. And at the time, you did not have the hundreds or thousands of dolphins that Disney ordered from you.
Right.
And you were just one man.
Right.
But that launched it all. And now you have this incredible career making these beautiful pieces out of acrylic, out of metal. What inspired, this variety?
Well, so like this one's called Tidal Wave. This one I fade, when it's liquid, I fade it from a deep blue into a medium blue into the turquoise. And then we hand carve and chip the bottom of each piece, put it back together but at an angle, and that's what brings it to life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real nice coffee table piece, mantle, dining room table is nice as well.
It's beautiful. And you said one of your best sellers is this piece right here.
This one was launched in 2000. I'm in galleries all over, but this has been my #1 selling piece for the last 19 years straight. Wow. It's called Intersection, and what I've done here is I've taken the 3 fundamental shapes, the circle, the square, and the triangle, and made a 3-dimensional piece without a front, back, or side. So all the way around you have a beautiful view, dining room table, pedestal, just a real classy piece all the way around. We hand carve all this out. Now the color on this one, I pour a level of aqua and violet on 2 separate planes. Where they overlap is where you get that pretty sapphire blue.
It's like a prism feeling almost.
Right. And then you get the aquas and violets around the perimeter of it.
And just even being able to see through where you carved, I mean, it's just so cool. And whatever inspired you to start chipping away at this?
Well, I just like the texture and the look, and then the way the
this is too smooth. It's too perfect. We need to give it an edge.
We need to rough it up a little bit. Exactly. Well, it just gives kind of a raw, organic feel to the sculptures.
It really, really does. This is Michael George. He's going to be here at the Birmingham Street Art Fair all day long, and it does begin at 10 a.m. The art fair is free. You can come here, look around. You'll want to bring your wallet, though, because some of these pieces you're not going to want to leave without. And, of course, just being here, you are helping support Common Ground and their services that they provide. You'll be able to learn a little bit more about them as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to toss things back to you, Anu.